Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
You are most welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more updates, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can equally leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277 128 777. Thank you. I would like you to join me listening to what Solomon Owusu has to say about the pronouncement of the CJ in the Supreme Court on the ruling of the 4 vacancies declared, and how he also cautioned the speaker to stay focused, for him not to allow anybody to ride him. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what he said into detail. Thank you.
Somebody also said, oh, we're in a meeting for too long. And by the time we realized the speaker had already adjourned sitting, that, oh, we should have informed the speaker, or the speaker should have known. So there are many narrations of exactly what happened. We'll be talking about those two issues in one as we talk about what is transpiring in our parliament. And then we'll move on to the matter of a peace pact. We're asking a question: would a peace pact guarantee peaceful elections in December? That's our second topic for discussion. And then we'll talk about inflation. Edged up slightly, now 22.1%. That's for the CD, and the dollar exchange rate is another matter. We'll put those two together and what it means for the economy. Those are the issues we're discussing today on the matter of our talk shows, Alaji and Alaji. A big thank you to the affiliate stations that are currently tuning to us. And of course, if you join us on any of them, do comment, share a comment or two. I'll read it as we go along in the show. Joining me this morning for the discussion, let me start with Kwame Kwesi Pratt Jr., who is General Secretary of the Socialist Movement of Ghana. And of course, Mr. Solomon Owusu is a member of the Movement for Change. Nice to see him this morning. And then for the very first time on this show, I'm sure if you follow this network regularly, Pan-African Television, you know his face quite well. But the very first time he's appearing on the show, Adam Sabo Abdul Rahman is MPP Greater Accra Regional Communications Director. Good morning to you. And finally, nice to meet you.
Happy actually coming to your program. And then it's been a long time that I've sat side by side with my elder brother like this. If I can remember, I think somewhere about 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I think I think it was yourself and then that fair man from NDC, the elderly man.
Well, nice to see you. And of course, we're waiting for Dr. Clement Park, who will join us. He is MP for Bosa South constituency. That's our panel for today, to discuss the issues. We have to start from the matter of the speaker saying there's no constitutional crisis, but Parliament was recalled at a very expensive cost, and he had to adjourn again. Well, I'll start from the right with Mr. Solomon Owusu on this. Good morning once again.
Good morning, Mr. Nombo. I hope the family is doing well, and good morning to Mr. Pratt. It's been a long time that we sat in this beautiful studio, so I'm very happy to see him by my side for us to see whether or not we have constitutional crisis, and to Sabo, who is here to represent the New Patriotic Party. Let me start off by expressing our thanksgiving to the people of the Northern region who are receiving the next president of the land, Mr. Alan Chomatin, with full arms. I'm very surprised with the levels of welcoming that is taking place in the Northern region. I mean, the love is so deep. We are very grateful to those in Gushegu, to those in Mion, Sanaregu, Tamale. We know that Alan will surely win to develop the Northern regions. And to those that have been given money by the New Patriotic Party in the North, that they should go and hoot at Mr. Alan Chamante, as we were told by supporters in Mion and Gushegu yesterday, that they were actually given money to come and hoot at him. But when they saw his face, they realized that he was too noble for such a effort to befell on him. We are very grateful. I want to warn the New Patriotic Party that they must not start something that they cannot end, and that we remain resolute, focused, unwavering, unshaken and that nothing will stop the victory that is on its way. So kudos to you, all of you. And to all the Movement for Change members, I say the key word is focus. Just be focused. Don't let anybody or any polls, political entrepreneurs that sit behind their desktops, manipulate figures, conjure figures from heaven to deceive you. It's all part of the stomach game that has pleated our political space. There is nothing serious about it, and that we are winning. Parliament, constitutional crisis. Senator, where we are now is, or at best can be described as the dishonest, the lack of integrity, the academic dishonest professionals that we have in this country that has led us to where we are. Other than that, there is nothing to discuss. There is no problem, except that people are trying to force a problem onto us. When we say constitutional crisis, what it simply means is that the laws that are contained in our constitution is unable to deal with a specific matter, for which reason we have a problem. What law or what provision in our constitution is not enough to deal with what we are discussing today? There is none. We are talking about a so-called problem, which is not a problem, that you and I know what it is. And here I'm talking about declaration of a vacant seat. My own people, my former party people, they are so dishonest. The New Patriotic Party, so dishonest, that your own Article 391, which talks about forfeiture of membership, that when you are a supporter or a sympathizer of the party and the party presents a candidate, be it at the parliamentary level or at the presidential level, and you decide to throw your weight behind any other candidate apart from your candidate, automatically, in fact, that is the word that has been used in the MPP's constitution, you forfeit your membership. It's not as if the party will even call you into a meeting to find out why. It's just automatic. You must know that you are no more a member of the MPP. And by virtue of that provision, that is why on the 25th of September 2023 at 2:30 p.m., when Mr. Alan Chamanti declared that he was going as an independent candidate, and I concurred, immediately my membership of the MPP came to an end. I didn't need the general secretary of the party to write to me. I didn't need the national chairman. Neither did I need anybody, my constituency chairman, to write to me. I knew I was no more a member of the MPP. And in fact, November of that year, the general secretary boldly came out and said he was even surprised that people were still linking the lives of Ohininto, Hobson Adoye, Yabuabia Samoa, Boniface Abubakar, still to the MPP, because so far as he was concerned, it was automatic. There were no more members of the New Patriotic Party. You go back further. What happened to Isaac Esiama, Andrew Esiama, the MP for Fomna, when he decided to go as an independent candidate? The party only wrote to Parliament because they wanted to have it on record that this man was no more a member of our party, and by virtue of Article 97 and by virtue of our party's constitution, Article 391, the seat that he was occupying must be declared vacant. Speaker Michael Kwe concurred, and they declared it vacant. So, Senator, this is what we are dealing with. In 2020, we did not hear the Harvard lawyers, the Yalean lawyers, the Oxfordians, the University of Ghana lawyers, the Supreme Court judges, some of whom were lawyers at that time, cough about this matter. Because as we speak, that Article 391 of the MPP's constitution, nobody, not even including the MPP, has submitted an official position on it that it is void if it is not in line with the provisions in our 1992 constitution. And remember, when a law is inconsistent with our constitution, to the extent of the inconsistency, that provision becomes null and void. The NPP has not said so. So there is clarity. There is nothing unambiguous about the provisions in the NPP's constitution and that of Article 97 H and G. And it was on the basis of that that Speaker Michael Quay declared this seat, from that seat, vacant. Now, that's why I started by telling you that we have dishonest people. Reverend Professor Michael Quay, emphasis mine, his name is what? Reverend. Professor. The same person that gave the ruling in Parliament November 2020, Reverend was interviewed on Joy FM. The same issue presented to him. Oh, no. He hopes Speaker Bagwin does not toe his line. It's not good at all. There are differences in this matter. And that unless or until the New Patriotic Party rise to heal Bagwin, they are still members of the party. Hey! Also, so clearly, the dishonest levels, the intellectual dishonesty that is playing our elderly statement is what is at play today. Look, I agree 100% with Speaker Bagwin. In fact, the only problem that I had with Speaker Bagwin was his own problem he created at the beginning of this parliament, where he decided to make the New Patriotic Party the majority party. Senator, you have done a party group, majority group. There's still, whether group or whether Kenya went to Kenya or came back, it's still the majority. Senator, you have done a bit of mathematics. Is that not the case? I have never heard anywhere, unless today they have changed the syllabus, that 137 is greater than 137, or 137 is less than 137, or 137 is equal to 137. These are possible questions if you are asked in WASI or BEC or any university exam. Which one would you choose? Is 137 not equal to 137? So on what basis did Speaker Bagwin come to that conclusion that they needed to be a majority group, as Honorable wants us to believe? I believe that the Speaker was only acting based on common sense, because he realized that, look, when he had got into it, was a novelty. We had not had the experience of having a hung parliament, and so he needed, government business needed to go move forward to save all of us. So in that regard, we needed to agree temporarily. And I believe that, I don't know for now whether Parliament itself, through their standing orders, have put in place certain things to checkmate this. Because, you see, it's going to happen the way our politics is going. We are going to experience a lot of these things. And unless or until we think into the future, we are likely to have certain scenarios that may make this country ungovernable. So Speaker did that. Because if you are going to enforce the laws or the provisions in our constitution, the moment Speaker linked a CMA to the MPP, clearly it means he had crossed carpet, or he had vacated his seat, and that formula seat needed to be declared vacant. And also, a CMA couldn't have become the second deputy speaker, as is enshrined in Article 96B or so, that you cannot have the first and deputy speakers coming from the same political party. So all of us as a country decided to put on with that anomaly. It was an illegality, but for the sake of the country moving forward, and to also give Parliament that laxity to also correct some of these things, that is why we all moved on. Lo and behold, a similar situation happens today, 2024. That people have decided to go as independent candidates, leaving the parties on whose ticket they went to Parliament to go and contest as independent candidate. The same situation, same circumstances, same facts. In this case, the character that was involved in the 2020 is also involved. The matter is moved in Parliament, Senator, and the same people that initiated in 2020 say, oh no, it is not like that. We were born in Buckingham Palace and understand the English language more than anybody. It doesn't mean that. If you people didn't realize we made a mistake yesterday, we are telling you today. And that we are going to the Supreme Court for the Supreme Court to direct Parliament as to what to do. But here, let me also blame the NDC party. I don't think they are strategic enough. On what was the business of the former minority leader going on a campaign platform to even go and announce to the world that they were going to move a motion to remove 4 MPs? What was the business? You have gone into a caucus meeting. You have taken a decision that this is what we are going to do. You were telling me to do what? But for that pronouncement, Afenyo himself couldn't have gone to the Supreme Court, because how were you going to go to Supreme Court that, when I slept, I dreamt that the NDC would be moving this motion, so I am taking the lead at the Supreme Court to file a motion. So clearly something wasn't adding up. But be that as may, the man went to Supreme Court for interpretation of Article 97. Sarah, I decided to go and buy, you see it's fresh, the 1992 Constitution. When I went to the bookshop, I was thinking they would demand my law certificate before they sell this Constitution to me. Because the way a manner people are behaving in this country, it is as though you will need a law certificate to understand simple English. With your permission, let's go to Article 97 and see whether or not it is something that the Supreme Court has to interpret for you and I to understand. The H and the J, or the J and the H. Article 97, 1, the J. So if he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of his election to Parliament to join another party, or seeks to remain in Parliament as an independent member. So now, which of this provision don't you understand? The H. If he was elected a member of Parliament as an independent candidate and joins a political party. Look, to further be assured that what Speaker Baldwin did was right, the NPP itself, in the Formina constituency, why do you think they decided to hold on to their primaries? Having done or undertaken all the primaries in all the other constituencies in January. Because they knew that if they had done that in January and the CMR had contested, clearly that seat would have to be declared as a vacant seat for a fresh election to be conducted, which they are not sure whether or not they win. And so they had to wait till the time the EC opened nomination. As we speak, on record, Esiama is a member of the New Patriotic Party who is going to contest on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. I don't see how anybody can contest on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party when the person is not a member of the party. Now, fast forward. Afenyo goes to Supreme Court. Supreme Court gives its orders that it has to be stayed. The ruling of the Speaker has to be stayed. So you need the Speaker to make a pronouncement on the subject matter. When Speaker recalled Parliament the first time, it was the same NPP members that decided not to go to the chamber. For which reason the Speaker said, look, we had a quorum to do business, but we did not have a quorum to take decisions. So what is the point in sitting in Parliament House when you cannot take any decision? So he adjourned proceedings, Senator. Indefinite. Now, the same constitution allows members of parliament to also, if they are 15%, to recall parliament, and speaker will be obliged to do so. NPP members did so, and speaker had to follow the constitution, so he recalled parliament. So where lies the constitutional crisis? The speaker is operating within the constitution. Yet again, speaker recalls parliament, and those that insisted that parliament be recalled said they were in a meeting for almost 2 hours. They were chilling, drinking Molato, drinking Milo, cheese, all sort of things. 2 hours. They won't even go to the chamber. One speaker went there, saw the numbers, and realized that they couldn't do anything meaningful. He then again adjourned proceedings indefinite. Immediately he did that, they surfaced that, oh, we were in our rooms, we were in our cubicles, we were having a meeting, and that speaker should have been there for like 5 hours. And that why didn't speaker make the ruling that the NDC side should sit at the left place for them to come and sit at the right side? And that is why they did not attend. Mind you, this current crop of leaders of the MPP, I don't know where they came from. They don't resemble people that have gone through the mill in the MPP. So shallow, so weak, arrogant. The more reason why the people of this country gave us 137 was the fact that the NPP and the NDC have been arguing that they all want to develop this country to the levels that all of us want. And so the Ghanaians sat back and said, well, if all of you are preaching that you want to develop this country to its full potential, then we are giving you an even number. Go to parliament and build consensus so that we will move forward. This is the sort of consensus that they have given to us. Instead of going to the chamber to, as it were, push the speaker into a corner where he will make a determination, we will see whether or not he will respect the decision of the Supreme Court. They decided not to do so and sit in the comfort of their homes. When in fact, when parliament is recalled, it is you and I's taxes that are used to fuel their vehicles and other expenses. They did not do so. But you see, Senna, what does this teach us as a country? And this is where I want to draw the attention of the voting population in this country. That, look, if you are still going to vote in the way and manner you have been doing in the last 32 years, putting your trust in these two political parties, you are not going to get anywhere. The election 2024 must lead us into that determination or conclusion on a candidate who is a level-headed person. We have a president occupying the Jubilee House whose interest is only about himself and his few cabal. So all programs and policies that he sends to Parliament are programs and policies that will benefit him and his circle. Is it not interesting that this urgent recall of Parliament, the issues that were to be tabled for discussions included, what's the name? Tax freebies to themselves. Mind you, those companies that they have sent to Parliament is not for any foreign, it is for themselves. Tax exemptions. You know why would Katie Hammond be furious with adjournment of what's the name? Parliament proceedings? Because he's the Minister of Trade and Industry. They want to just go and give these tax exemptions, so that they will pass back and go and take and enrich themselves. IES running into hundreds of millions of dollars, while we are running around looking for loans, sometimes less than what they want us to give as freebies. So clearly, it is selfish interest that is playing. In this last hour, they want to push items through that will sustain them when they are in opposition. I hear that they also want, as a matter of urgency, to pass a law that will establish JB Dankwa University or whatever. For what? And you see, Parliament passed the LGBTQ, or what is it, the proper human value bill, is that not the case, and sent it to the president of the land. Someone went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court of the land has not been called about it. The president said he was not going to touch it, just because there was a certain lady called Kamala Harris who had visited this country and warned these adults. This woman was able to fly all the way from the United States of America, come to Ghana and warn two adults, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and President Akufo-Addo, that if you dare sign this document, we will be done with you. So they decided to shield it. That is not a concern to the people of this country, neither is it a concern to the president. That Parliament, that is representing all of us, decided to settle on the matter, and they are not interested. And that is why you will need that level-headed president who will be sending good bills, good deals to Parliament that will benefit all of us. In election 2024, my candidate, Alan Tremanti, is telling you that make him the president. So that developmental bills, policies, programs, as contained in the Great Transformation Plan, will be sent to Parliament. But I can assure you that in the Parliament of 2025, or in our governance structure, there will be an independent candidate as president. I'm sure the NDC will be the majority party in Parliament, NPP will be the minority party, so that we will build that consensus in moving the country forward. So it is much ado about nothing. There is no constitutional crisis, and I believe that the Chief Justice, the pronouncement he made after his ruling was unnecessary, was uncalled for, that we were in the constitutional crisis, when in fact the matter that was before her had nothing to do with constitutional crisis, and that the New Patriotic Party led by Afenyo Marcus, who himself took the matter to court, was the one creating more problems for this country. That the party, the MPs are not ready to work, they are only wasting our time because they know they don't have any serious or urgent matter to discuss. And I believe that the Speaker must stand on his feet and not allow anybody to take us for a ride. We are not ready for that. We are not ready for these tricks. We have had one too many of this parliament, a parliament that was supposed to checkmate. And this must also be an eye-opener, because when the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice was ruling, one of the, as it were, in a matter that Tadio Story was calling on Jau, is it Gau, Justice Gau, to recuse himself from the bench. You heard what the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice said, that this judge passed through parliamentary vetting. Some of us sent petitions to Parliament that Ken Ofori-Atta must not be passed. They gave him an overwhelming endorsement. Hey, Dr. Park, you gave Ken Ofori-Atta that the entire country was yearning for him to be sacked. So, next time when you have justices passing through your hands, now I know there are two, you have to open your eyes, shine your eyes. Okay. Let the interest of the country be in your bosom, in determining whether or not they should go through. It's not about friends matter. Okay. It's about the interest of this country. And when we are done in that way, we will not have what we call constitutional crisis. There's nothing like constitutional crisis. We are living in peace, and that Ghana will rise and continue to rise. I end my submission.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Solomon also is from the Movement for Change. A few comments from Facebook before we continue. I'll go to Dr. Clementa Park next, because I realized when Mr. Solomon also was saying, well, have they been able to put in their new standing orders, things that will easily resolve the situation? You were shaking your head in disagreement. But I'll come to you shortly. Baseman Edu says the simple truth about this parliament matter is that the MPP are a bunch of hypocrites and dishonest people. Would they have done this if they had a clear majority? Kofi Simon says, in fact, this tussle has derailed activities in parliament for reasons best known to Akufo-Addo and the Supreme Court judges. Real Ghana also says the court has no business issuing an injunction on the forwarding of the bill to the presidency for signature. The court should have followed the laws of the land and entertained a lawsuit only after the president has decided to either sign the bill into law or refuse to sign it with an explanation. Those justices know the law and the procedures, but have chosen to be political justices serving and protecting, instead of upholding the laws of the land. Parliament has the authority to forward bills that have been passed by it to the presidency for the president to act on. Those are a few comments.
Thank you for staying tuned. PENDREAM TV really appreciates your time for being here. Please do subscribe if you're a new member. Like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can equally leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277-128-777. If you have anything bothering you, just send a voice note to our WhatsApp number and our team will be with you to air your voice out. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.